Here to see my new video, are we? Hey, what? Apparently the video's not about me, it's about some car called The Judge, and how you lot can earn millions of credits driving it. Well, watch it anyway, it's probably bloody marvellous.
And the car we're going to be using is this one, the 1969 Pontiac GTO, specifically this version referred to as the Judge. Now, this is only available in the legendary dealerships, so hopefully you managed to pick yourself one up already. And if we look into the tuning of this car, well, it's a bit of a shopping list, so it's going to be a lot better for you guys just to pause the video, see what I've brought, and then buy the same for your version. I will say though, unusually for me, I have made a few changes here. There are changes to the aerodynamics, there are changes to the suspension, and I've also adjusted the transmission. Not the gear ratios, but the actual top end speed, which has been raised to 30. Taken the weight reductions, and of course you need racing wets and racing hard tyres. And once you've done all that, it's time to head over to the race. And the race we're going to be doing is, well, my go-to race for credit earning, the World Touring Car 700 at Le Mans, and you will find that in the European section of World Circuits. Just as we start the video, I'd like to thank all of you guys that have supported the channel recently. What you've been doing is really quite amazing. If you haven't yet supported the channel and you'd like to, well, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down below. It does help the channel and I really do appreciate every single one of you. Now, as for what we're going to be doing in the race, we're planning on a 2-stop strategy. That will be a stop at the end of lap 2 and a stop at the end of lap 4, obviously weather dependent. As far as the other settings go, fuel mapping, well, she's a bit of a greedy bird, is this particular car, so you want to set your fuel map to setting number 5. As for the car itself, well, pretty much typical American muscle car. Loves going in a straight line, loves going fast. Not so keen on the other things such as cornering and braking. So, when you come up to your braking zones, brake a little bit earlier than you normally would and you'll be golden, and just be a little bit more careful when you're throwing it into the corners, because that back end will skip out on you if you're not careful. But don't let those little warnings put you off, because this thing is no slouch, and as you can see, before we'd even finished the first lap, we had moved up into first. Yes, okay, there was a little bit of rubbing there, but rubbing is racing. And we're racing the AI, so we're not going to spoil anybody else's DR or SR. Oh, and yes, that was a subtle hint out there to all you jackasses. Just play nicely. And as we're already in the lead, we may as well skip ahead to our first pit stop, which very conveniently also coincided with the rain for us. But either way, you are going to be stopping at the end of lap 2. Just up to you, depending on your race, what you do. If it's raining, you want to put on the 4 wets. If it's dry, well, it's another set of slicks. And either way, don't forget, fill up with fuel right up to the maximum. And once you've put on new tyres and filled up with fuel, it's time to get back out onto the track. Just be careful when you do though, because the AI will not care about taking you out. Now, you may have noticed you've dropped a few places. Well, don't worry about it, because you will soon get them back. Well, let's face it, it's Le Mans, it's raining, and we all know the AI can't drive in the rain. So, it won't be long before you are back into that first position. Just a quick pointer here, remember I said the car was a little bit twitchy earlier on? Well, it definitely is in the wet, so you may want to stick yourself on a little bit of traction control, 1 or 2 clicks, just to help out. Now, being as we're back in the lead, we're going to skip ahead to the end of lap 4, where, for me, it was a little bit of a tricky decision. You see, the track was still wet. It was obviously drying out, but there was still a lot of wet patches. So I wasn't quite sure which tyre to take. So, being a bit of a wuss, I decided I would go for the safe option and put on the wets again. And obviously we're filling up with fuel, and this I was hoping was going to be the last pit stop of the race. Unfortunately, with the time I spent in the pits, when I came out of the pits, all traces of rain had pretty much gone, and the track was drying out a lot more quickly than I anticipated it would, and so I was starting to chew up those wet weather tyres. In fact, by the time I came towards the end of lap 5, my wet weather tyres were completely knackered, so I had to come into the pits again and make an unscheduled stop, only this time I'm putting on the slicks. But if you do have to make an unscheduled pit stop, don't worry about it, you're going to be so far ahead it's not going to matter. What I would worry about, however, is damp patches on the track, because yeah, bet the cameraman had to change his shorts after that one. And when you eventually do get onto the 6th lap, as I said, you're going to be so far ahead, but you're not really going to have to worry about anything. Whether you've ended up with a dry race or a wet race, whether you've done the planned 2 stops, or like me, you have to do an extra stop because of the weather, you are going to be so far ahead and just so clear of the pack. And now, well, now's a good time to skip ahead to the end of the lap. And now we're at the end of the lap. As I always say, with Le Mans, if you don't need to do a lap 7, don't do one. If you've got a bit of time left, well, just wait. Or hell, just muck about for a little bit. As you can see, we were already past the 30-minute mark, but we was that far ahead, I decided to, well, show off a little bit for the crowd. I mean, after all, why wouldn't you? And then, when you finish mucking about, cross the finish line and claim you win. It's as easy as that. And there you go, 825,000 credits in the bank, and, well, a lot of fun. Now, it wasn't the cleanest race we've ever had, granted, but like I said, we got the credits, we got the win, and we enjoyed doing it. What more could you ask for, really? So, if you guys have enjoyed watching this video, please hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you guys in the next video. For more great videos like this one, follow this link. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.